Smith will say a sikkim of today's share. Just take a few minutes.
Just to review what we learned today, Bez Hashem. As we saw, Tisha B'Av is a very big day. It's a day that we don't have the opportunity as much as we'd like to, but at least one day to be focused on the Aveilus. And that's why, as we see, Tisha B'Av, there's an issa of learning, besides the simcha of it, which detracts from its avodas hayom, but as the Marshal learned, there's also an issa of hesach hadas. Even learning is prohibited because we have to be focused on the day, not the Masiach Das. And presumably the same as regarding the week of Aveilus, both reasons of Simcha and of Hesach Hadas apply, and that's why it's Asa. Nothing less than an Issa of learning on Aveilus or during the Tisha B'Av. The source, as we saw, Alpi Kli Yakar, is from Yaakov Avinu, where even Esav realized that Yaakov would be vulnerable when he's not learning, and that's during Aveilus, Yekuvimei Evel Avi. But primarily the two sugyas are in Ma'id Katan and in Tainis. And of course the message is that as much as Torah is important, but Aveilus of a relative Aveilus of Churban is even more important. But as we proved, there is not only a heter to learn Dvarim Haroyim, which means things that are still Churban related, but it's actually a chiyuv. As long as it's not Masiach Das, it's not the full Simcha, as the Aruch HaShulchan says, it's Simcha tainted with Tsar, and that's why it's Mutter. It's what's included there, as we said, there are many things that are included in the Heta, both in Shas and Shulchan Aruch, Dvarim Haroyim and Aveilus, but Shmuzin of recordings of Torah, of Hisairis, is really part of the Avodas Hayom. What seems still is basically the chiyuv to learn as much as you can, of course, but it should be done properly and not violating the Isurim. We don't say Vanizais Berisi because there's no full Limud Torah, whether it's in Eiches or Kames. We don't learn everything, and also we don't learn with the same Iyun. We're missing the Amelus, we're missing the Igi, and that's the bris of Torah. Erev Tisha B'Av, it seems we could all agree that there's a chiyuv to learn. Some, in fact, learn even regular things, but definitely those that are learning limited things, there's a chiyuv, because again, it's not like the chaymer of Tisha B'Av itself. The heta of lohot is either it's an oynis or a tsar gadol, but basically, tzaddikim have said this doesn't apply today. And if the Rogatchover story happened, it's only because he was taka really lohot, and therefore it was mutter. Rabim tzrichen loy halacha l'maisa is only something that's halacha l'maisa or an important magid shir. Someone was kind enough to tell me after the shir that he was by Rav Avigdor Miller shir when he said the shir during his Aveilus. It was a regular Gemara shir, and he felt that was part of Rabim tzrichen loy. So we speculated, but this is absolutely the story actually happened. Here without Birchas Torah is mutter. Here on Shabbos is mutter, but regarding Aveilus or Tisha B'Av, here is the Issa because that brings the most Simcha. In other words, the Issa is not necessarily the Kiyama mitzvah, but it's the Simcha of the mitzvah. And that's why a mitzvah gemur without Simcha, like Dvarim Haroyim, is mutter. Without Kiyama mitzvah, Nashim are also in Limud Torah. As we explained, that the Chasam Sofer explains, that's why after Chatzos on Shabbos, of Tisha B'Av or Erev Tisha B'Av, although you're allowed to have a Suda Shleima B'Shaita, but you're not allowed to learn. Not because the learning is also on Shabbos, but it's because the Hira continues into Matzai Shabbos, when of course Hira is even Hira is also. The Seder of Tefillah, but Derech Klal is Mutta. As we said, Sheish Zechirais, there's also Tzad to be Mekel, Krishma Alamit is Mutta, and if someone says Krishma before the first man, and he makes it Tanai, it's Mutta, just like when you daven after the second man Krishma, even though it's Kari B'Torah, but it's part of the Seder Tefillah. So this is also needed for your Kiyama Mitzvah. And as we explained, Tilim is Mutta, like many, a whole Tisha B'Av. Mr. Berurah says after Tisha B'Av, it's after Chatzos is Mutta. Mr. Berurah seems to be noita not to say Tilim at all on Tisha B'Av, but those that are Mekel and wait till after Chatzos, V'vada yesh al milas. Okay.